What's up, everybody? This is Battlefield J97 here. It's been a while since I've done a gaming pickup video, and I I do have a reason why for that. I said before in the last 2-in-1 gaming pickup video for February and March that I wouldn't do those kinds of videos again because it would be, I would have been on track, but life just got to me. Games, school, and stuff like that. The same excuse I've been spouting out of this channel for quite a while as of right now. But this will be the last one. This will be the last one. The second strike to not have a 2-in-1 video, because it'll be long as hell and bloated. But hell, get ready for the big load, guys. So anyhow, without further ado, here is my gaming pickup videos and my impressions, thoughts on the games that I played during April and May. And I made a list categorizing each system: PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo. So I like to go with the ones for PlayStation first in the month of April, and all of the games are from PlayStation Plus, just to get people up to speed. Tower of Guns on PS4 and PS3, Aru's Awakening on PS4 and PS3, Never Alone for PS4, and Dishonor for PS3. But there was another two games that I got, and they were in retail, and that, of course, is Uncharted 2007 Game of the Year Edition, the greatest hits. And for a used game in GameStop for like $5, it's actually not really that bad looking of a case. There's not much scratches in the back except for from the front, except for one little big scratch in the back. But I could just replace the case later with another. I could replace the case later in life, but for a used copy, especially with this, I couldn't resist for $5. And with the purchase of the first Uncharted game, I have completed the Uncharted trilogy when it comes to my collection. And later down the road, I will be having a a series-a-thon, marathon, whatever, of the Uncharted series for the release of the inferior Nathan Drake collection for PS4 and Uncharted 4. Just to make a full disclosure here, like, seriously, you have a collection with 1080p, 60 FPS, but no online from these two games. That's pretty fucked up, Sony. And speaking of porting old PS3 games on the PS4, this was the other game that I got in the month of April for PlayStation, and that, of course, is God of War 3. Another used game that is in perfect condition. Well, sort of a perfect condition, but it's not in that kind of state that you would know from a used game at GameStop. Sticky as all hell, half of the top or bottom would be broken. It's a perfectly nice game. It even has the manual and stuff like that. And for $3, no less. $3, unlike that PS4 version, which will definitely be around like maybe $50 to $60. So yeah, it's good to have a PlayStation 3 as a backup for your PS4. That way you won't have to pay full price for games that you could have get for cheap. Just for those people who sold their PS3s, just saying it out there. And yeah, my impressions, Tower of Guns is a fun strategy, arcade kind of game, but it's kind of bloated, I'll say the least. And Aru's Awakening, it really seems like incomplete. Like, there's times where I wouldn't be able to finish a level, and I had to like precise my jumps throughout it. It's like the developers didn't really test their levels, and they just slapped the damn thing on PC, and somehow Sony improved the damn game and put it on the PlayStation Store. Which is pretty fucked up, to be honest, because it really seems like an incomplete, broken game. Never Alone on PS4. It's really this kind of atmospheric platformer that really goes in depth with this culture from, the igloo people and stuff like that. And it's kind of slow at times, but overall it kind of grosses you in this kind of platform journey. Definitely worth a try, even if it's not for free anymore. Definitely, if you're a PlayStation 4, and I assume a PC release as well, that definitely be the case. And Dishonored. Dishonored and I have a very fickle history with each other. Dishonored, from what I was reading back then from the shitty websites like Otaku, they were kind of, hinting this game would be like the next Thief game. And knowing how Thief 4 was still in development at the time, and we didn't know that it was a piece of shit that would be known as Teeth from Eidos Montreal, Dishonored would have been the game to fill in the little void of me as someone who wanted to have a stealth game like Thief. Well, the game wasn't Thief at all, and it had like over-bloated powers, to say the least. They kind of reminded me of the Batman Arkham games, where you were able to see through the walls. Like, seriously, how, like, in a stealth game, especially if you're, like, in this old setting, that kind of replicates the original Thief games. Why the hell would you have a power that I can see the enemies in the walls? It really kind of loses the tension and not uses the sound and stuff like that. And funny enough, back when I played this game on the PlayStation 3, no less, as a rental in GameFly, back in late 2012, I had this long, bloated rant about it on Twitter. And that was when I got a job offering as a writer in Stagger.com. And I'm still a writer in Stagger.com to this very day, from late 2012 to currently right now. So I do have to thank Dishonored for the false advertisement that it had in being a Thief game, and it got me my job as writing articles and stuff like that. But yeah, that's a long bloated history. Why did I not like the game? As I said before, the overbloated powers, the advertisement of it being like a Thief game, which clearly it's not at all, to say the least. And I don't know, it just felt kind of boring at times. I don't know, maybe a sequel to Dishonored 2 might remedy the situation and hopefully be its own thing, far away from the Thief series. And funny enough, with Teeth, the latest abomination for the franchise, copies a lot of shit from Dishonored. So it's like Dishonored is a wannabe Thief game, but then the reboot, or the fourth Thief game, Teeth, takes so much fucking elements from Dishonored. It's like a big fuckery. That's all I can say over there. So yeah, that's the April lineup. That's the April games for PlayStation: Tower of Guns, Aura's Awakening, Never Alone, Dishonored, and Uncharted, Drake's Fortune, and God of War 3. So let's go for the May side of PlayStation. We got Guacamelee, Ether 1, Unfinished Swan for PS4, PS3, and Vita, and Race the Sun. Now, Guacamelee is the Hispanic version of Symphony of the Night, in the sense of the Castlevania game, setting the standard for what would be a subgenre within platformers, and that platformers and just platformers in general, of the whole Metroidvania, of having like these interconnected sections within the world, and you would need to get power-ups later on in the game in order to go backtrack through a previous section that you couldn't get into. And Guacamelee, for the kind of Metroidvania indie game that it is really is a fun-ass game. It has a lot of aesthetics from like luchador culture, Mexico culture, and stuff like that. And it got like tons of references across the roof, like Mario, Mega Man, Zelda. It even has like a reference from Wreck-It Ralph, which is kind of cool as all hell. So yeah, Guacamelee, you can also, for Nintendo users, you can get Guacamelee for the Wii U in a really cheap price for like $1 or so if you donate to the Humble Nindy Bundle, which is still going on as of this recording. So I definitely recommend for any Wii U owner who has the dough to pay up for $1 or more for charity, because Guacamelee is damn good, along with other indie games on the Wii U and 3DS. Yeah, that's a long bulleted message. So either one, it kind of reminds me of those old PC adventure games like Myst, but instead of just clicking and going through each section one by one, you would like explore, manually and stuff like that, and it's okay. I really don't have much to say. You just look at it and it looks pretty, go through this section, and that's about it. Storyline didn't really captivate me, or this lore that it has. And Unfinished Swan. Unfinished Swan, I really wanted to play Unfinished Swan back when it was like announced and released, I think 2013 for PS3, and later on the Vita, and then the PS4. So yeah, I got the chance to play a bit of that on PS4 and the PS3, and I gotta say, it really is a unique game. I mean, all you do in it is try to get from point A to point B in this blank world, as it seems. But when you press like the L2 or R2 buttons, the shoulder buttons on the PlayStation controllers, you would release like this big ball black of ink, and it would uncover like this blank white world. And then you notice that the world isn't blank as it is. You try to go through these kind of sections. I mean, it can get repetitive and boring later on down the road, but it still has that lasting impact of when you had that ball of ink splat into the canvas, and you see like this beautiful creation of work of art. And then I think the second world or so, when you splat the ink and you see these bamboos coming in, it's like it looks like a work of art. It looks beautiful as all hell, and especially on PS4, when they amped up the resolution, it looks definitely nice. It looks really beautiful. So yeah, I definitely recommend getting it on either PS4 or PS3, and even the Vita. I'm not sure how it plays on the Vita, but I'm assuming that it runs fine like the PS3 version. Just go by. And Race the Sun for PS3 and the Vita. Race the Sun is like this arcade type of game where you just have to avoid obstacles as like this ship as long as you can in order to get a high score. That's it. And the art style is kind of bland. It has like this gray to white aesthetic that doesn't really stand out as much. And when I was looking through the lineup for May, when it came to PlayStation Plus, it really didn't spark any interest for me at first. And later on, during May and the beginning of June, that's when I decided to play it for this video, and it's okay. I wouldn't pay full price for it, to be honest. But yeah, that's it for the PlayStation side for April and May. Now it's for the Xbox side. And all of these were games with gold offerings. So let's get it out of the way for Xbox One: Pool Nation FX, Child of Light, and Castle Storm Definitive Edition. Since I don't have an Xbox One, but I just claimed it anyway, just in case in the future, when I do get games, I just, I'm saying it right there. So let's go into the 360 side for April. April was a really great year, a great month for 360 owners like myself, being able to download like 4 games in 1 month, and my hard drive like freaking filled up quick from that month. And let's start talking about Gears of War Judgment. Gears of War Judgment, it really didn't spark my interest in playing the Gears of War games, even when playing the first one, when it was offered for free in Games with Gold. It just really didn't captivate me, even as a prequel to the Gears of War trilogy. It just seems boring. I was really bored as all hell, and while the gameplay is functional as all hell, and the series revolutionized like cover-based third-person shooting for the 7th generation, I was kind of bored with it. I mean, I might just play through it again later on in the future, just like I did with past Games with Gold games, but I don't know, maybe Gears of War isn't the kind of series that sparked me as much as Halo did for the Xbox. But yeah, Judgment, it functions. It's an okay game. If you can find it cheap as hell on the 360, then go for it. And maybe find friends online or co-op, because it might be fun as hell for that. And Terraria for the 360. Terraria is like this 2D, 16-bit inspired Minecraft game where you're basically, taking out minerals, fighting against monsters, talking to people, like in this two-perspective world. It's like Minecraft, but with actual objectives in order for you to be invested in the game as much as, okay. Not to have any discredit for Minecraft from the impact that it had in getting people to use their imagination and stuff like that, but even as someone who's an artist like me, I just kind of get bored not having anything to tell me what to do or guide me in this objective, which kind of seems productive as an artist. But yeah, Terraria is the kind of game where I could play for a ton of hours in Minecraft, to be honest, unless I have friends playing in Minecraft. Yeah, so Terraria, it's a 16-bit inspired 2D Minecraft game, and it kind of is competent compared to Minecraft. And Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, yeah, I'm currently in, the third sequence in Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag on the 360, and I am, like, halfway through the game when I was playing it on the PlayStation 4, so at least I have a lot more to say with Black Flag than any of the games on the Xbox side. So, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, to me, is the second best Assassin's Creed game next to Assassin's Creed 2, in a way that it changes up things, and it isn't as shitty as it was, like, with Assassin's Creed 3, which I still have in the shelf for whatever goddamn reason. And it's like that one game, the one game where, I wanted to be a pirate, go through the seas. The team at Ubisoft Montreal achieved that. You're able to be a Swash buccaneer, going through the high seas, going through towns, pillaging, like, the Templars and guards and stuff like that. And, yeah, the only thing that I have a problem with is, of course, a tendency with the Assassin's Creed games as of late, sticky landing. And when I mean sticky landing, it's like when you try to get one of those music sheets, or when you try to run away from the guards, or try to get, like, some dude who's running away and you're trying to tackle or kill him. There's always those moments in the Assassin's Creed games where you get stuck or you get hit by something where it doesn't register the movement of the stick that you try to go through. And I just noticed it when I was playing through Assassin's Creed 3, then later on down the road, I just couldn't get that out of my head. It was just ridiculous. And connecting it to the Assassin's Creed games, I mean, after Assassin's Creed 3, the modern storyline is unnecessary as all hell. And, you know, after, spoiler alert, Desmond dies, which makes the whole modern storyline even more fucking pointless. I'm surprised they're even still continuing with that shit, and from what I played out of Unity, they just continue with it. I don't know why Ubisoft is still going from this shit, and they just would have stick to the past, when it came to retelling the past in Assassin's Creed games. And to be honest, I would have loved to see this as a new IP than just sticking it as an Assassin's Creed game, because I would have loved to have more adventures as Kenway, or his kids, or his descendants, at least in the pirate world, in the Caribbean, not just going through London and some frame rate boggle bullshit, or as of right now in the Industrial Revolution, no, London, France in Unity. That's how fucking memorable Unity was. I'm just memorizing how bad the frame rate was in that game. Yeah, the boggling mind frame down bugger that was Unity, and the boring and not even hyped London setting for Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Jesus, this is how unforgettable or not even hype I'm getting with the Assassin's Creed games. I don't even remember the subtitles anymore, or how much the setting is. It's just, ooh. Either way, Black Flag is a good ass game if you can find it cheap, or find it whatever price it is on PS4, PS3, 360, Xbox One, PC, or hell, even on the Wii U. Go for it. It's a fantastic open world game and a great pirate game, to say the least. And the last one for April, Army of Two, The Devil's Cartel. All I can say, it's competent, but it's forgettable. That's all I can say. I don't even remember most of the damn plot or storyline, it revolves around the Mexican cartels, stuff like that. And yeah, customization, it's there, and it's just okay. Moving on. For May, I didn't really download Mafia 2 because I honestly didn't really turn on the 360 during that month. But I did turn it on for F1 2013, and I can say it's an okay racer. That's all. So now for the Nintendo side, Animal Crossing New Leaf, fantastic game. It's sticking with my 3DS for as long as it can. Super Smash Bros. From the Nintendo 64 on the Wii, on the original Wii. Definitely fun as all hell. It's still playable, still precise as a Smash Bros. Game would. The Street Pass games on my 3DS plus the VIP access, definitely sinking into my time, is really goddamn fun and definitely worth the investment for like $20 or so. And Crush 3D, really a unique platformer that you can find for like $3 or so. And if you can find it in this box and not the this card, then definitely go for it. It's a launch title for the 3DS, but it does use the 3D at least competent. So anyhow, that's it for April and May. I hope you enjoyed the video, like, favorite, subscribe, and even give your impression on the games that are on the list. and we can talk and discuss about it in the comment section below. Like, favorite, subscribe. See you guys later.